Hi. Hi.
I'm Judea.
Hi, sweetie. May I work in your aura?
Yes, you may. Have it. Have at it.
Okay. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm simply working in the auric field around her body to do a little housekeeping and also to see what's clearing when things are clearing. And don't worry, you don't have to duck. When it leaves my fingertips, it goes into the light. Okay? So, and actually, for fun, if you like, you can work in your own aura. You do not have to know what you're doing. It's probably preferable. So, you're just scanning your energy fields and then pulling out what doesn't belong there. So, please.
It's like here now. I want to share myself, and I don't always feel that I'm able to share from who I am. I think that I have to be a certain way or be perfect to be on this earth so long. I should have it together.
Anybody relate to that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I hear you. So it's kind of like if I'm an old soul and so wise, how come I'm still holding back, and how come I'm still have karma?
Right, and it's the conference that's coming up. So that's what I used as where I want to
share
really
in a greater way.
Share in a greater way, and a particular person that comes to me that I feel like I can't be normal around. And so I'm using that as, well, if I get near them, can I be normal?
Yeah,
Can I be
that's
who
great.
I am?
That's great. It's very helpful when you're doing clearing to get really specific. Okay? And you go, yeah, but if I'm clearing this thing, I won't be clearing this thing. But actually what I find is if you clear this thing, then it opens up this. If we're too vague, we're kind of clearing thoughts, but not really clearing our karmic or our energy field or consciousness. Make sense?
And this person I've been working for a year now of clearing and clearing and clearing.
Right.
So it's almost like it's at a culmination. Can I come to them and be near normal? Can I?
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, we all have that person where it's like we're just not ourselves or we just got something with. There's always that person. So I am going to look at something specific with that person, so just relate it to your person. So think of somebody that you can't be yourself around, right? Either you're intimidated by them or you don't like them or whatever it is, or maybe both. It's very interesting. It looks like when you're around that person, it's like your aura actually contracts. And so something you can do, and this can apply to anyone, when you're around somebody where you can't be yourself because either you like them too much or they have some position or like I said, you don't like them, it's like your aura will actually contract. And it's like, so if you can actually think of your aura expanding as light when you're around that person, JR had a technique where you expand the aura. Do you guys know that when you put your fingers on your temple? And just see, so try it now. You see the light streaming out from both your temples and pushing your fingers out so that your aura expands. Now, the only caveat with that is it also expands the ego. So it's good if you're around somebody that you're intimidated by or, like, say, have an important meeting. It's not so great if you're about to do spiritual work because you want to not be, okay? So with that said, don't worry, we just ask for grace in this room. But it is a great technique if you've got to do something and you're afraid. It's like it brings you out.
Even going in the room, like with everything, that would be good to.
Yes.
And of course, put my 8-foot cube around.
8-foot cube of light is a great protection. So 8-foot cube of light is you just see 8-foot cube of light around you. And the nice thing about that is it's inclusive. It's not separation. Because if let's say I'm intimidated by Judea, and I put an 8-foot cube of light around us, or let's say I don't like Judea, just kidding, but let's say I don't like Judea or whatever, I feel like I'm being implanted by her, and I put the 8-foot cube of light around me, it goes around her too, so I'm not separating from her, but everything that's coming from her is going into the light and not to me. Okay, so, and now we get to clearing with this person. So it looks like you have a past life with her where she was your mother, and she was a very, it's kind of like she thought of you as her. And so everything you did was a reflection on her, and she just could not let go. And you were her youngest child, and you were the only girl since she was a woman. And she really clung to you, and you thought she was being critical, which she was, but it was really like she was trying to perfect you so that you had the best shot at a good life. Now, the challenge is, when our parents do that, when we do that as parents, we're perfecting, how we would like to be, and our kids may have an entirely different path. And I'm sure you have with parents, like, well, my parent wanted me to be this, and I've had to fight my whole life to be that.
Well, and that's how it is with us now.
Now, this lifetime. Yeah. And that's how it is. So remember when I showed you the divine unknowing picture and I drew just an ear, but we didn't even know what it was at the time? Well, what happened is you'll start to share with the person and then we'll go, oh, that explains this. And then it just gives you some feedback. So forgive the judgments of that you need to be perfect according to her, that how you are isn't perfect according to God. And you can all do this forgiveness inside. You ended up killing yourself. You ended up committing suicide because you were so enmeshed with her. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you just felt like you were never good enough, and you did. In fact, you were even what they would have called an old maid in those days. You never married, and that wasn't enough. Then you weren't good enough because you weren't married.
So weird. This is so what is right now.
Yeah, it is right now. Yeah. And see what happens, love, is we have these things happen in past lives and we make a choice that didn't go so well or created karma like killing ourselves. It's really the numero uno choice that does that. So we will then come back and create a similar situation and make a better choice. Make sense?
Yes.
So you have this person in your life who's doing you a big favor of triggering you. These people that we were like, if we could just get them out of our life. But actually, if you just get them out of your life, trust me, I had 2 hands in the air on that one. But if that happens, then we're just gonna pull someone else in because we clearly are triggered in that area.
Yeah. Right?
So that person's actually doing you a favor. It just doesn't feel like it.
Well, I've kept telling myself that. But it's amazing, even when I talk to her on the phone. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how...
That's your trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, karma is what attracts.
Yeah.
Right? So the good news is if you have karma with somebody, well, it's really karma with yourself, but if they trigger you, then there's something to work out. It can also happen in the positive, by the way, that karma is what attracts. So we're all gods, right? We all agree with that. So why do I want to be with this God out of, 7.5 billion gods? Because I have action with that one till I don't.
Yeah.
Right? So forgive all the judgments of killing yourself, taking your life. So everybody can forgive the judgments of taking your life
and
anytime you might have.
Feeling like I've committed suicide.
Yeah, committed suicide, not being true to yourself, committed character assassination of yourself. Yeah.
So I just forgive myself for all of that I have done. Any misconception, misinterpretations. Misunderstandings.
Take a deep breath and let all that go. Everybody, let all that go. Yeah. And for any time that you've ever, it's just everybody, I forgive myself for judging myself for taking my life in any lifetime. I have compassion on myself. I did not know better. I forgive myself for judging any of the times that I thought of doing so in this life or just that I didn't want to live. Just ask that the loving fill those places that were emptied for the highest good. Yeah. So, Judea, what message is Spirit bringing through you now?
You have the loving inside of you. When you're in your loving, when you're in your joy of who you are, then that is your perfect protection. So relax and know that you are protected with God's light, that God is with you at all times. And have courage to be who you are.
Beautiful. Thank you.